Oh, welcome back. Got some breaking news today in the auto business. Ram Trucks today saying it will not be building an all-electric Ram pickup.
A lot of people are staring at the truck market right now and asking the same question. How does one brand start moving up while others start losing steam? The easy answer is to say Ram got hot. The real answer is a lot more revealing than that. Truck buyers are more cautious now. They are more nervous about price, repairs, and regret. That changes what wins. It is no longer just about power, badges, or who sells the most units. It is about which truck feels safer to live with once the excitement wears off. Ram figured that out faster than the others. And what happened next says more about the fear in this market than most brands want to admit. Caution market. This is not happening in some happy market where everybody is doing great and trucks are just flying off the lots. The whole mood is tighter now. Prices are still high. Payments still feel heavy, and a lot of people who used to trade every few years are looking at what they already own and asking whether a new truck is really worth the hit. That changes what sales numbers mean. When the market is soft, a gain matters more. It usually means a brand got closer to what people were ready to pay for. Cox Automotive says the full year is still expected to finish below last year, even after the first quarter held steadier than some expected. General Motors said it expects a similar decline for the industry as a whole. Ram, on the other hand, said its total brand sales were up 20% and its pickup sales were up sharply in the quarter. That matters because truck buyers get more honest when the market gets mean. They stop pretending every new feature is important. They stop giving easy passes to brands they used to trust without thinking. They start hearing the sales pitch like owners. What will this cost me? What happens when something breaks? Is this engine the one I really wanted? Is this truck going to feel solid 5 years from now, or am I buying a polished headache? That is the real ground under this story. Ram is not climbing because this is some golden moment in the truck business. Ram is climbing because the business got harder and the buyer got pickier. In a year like that, sales do not just measure popularity, they measure what feels safer, what feels more familiar, and what feels easier to live with once the excitement wears off. The sales shift. Ram pickups moved 98,425 units in the first quarter. That was up about 25% from the same period a year earlier. Inside that number, the light-duty Ram 1500 was up 27%, and the heavy-duty trucks were up 21%. Ram also said this was its best first quarter since 2023. That is not a tiny bounce. That is a real move in a difficult market. Now look at the rest of the board. Ford F-Series was still much larger in raw volume at 190,389 trucks in the first quarter, but that number was down from 190,389 a year earlier. General Motors stayed huge overall, but the company said its United States sales fell 9.7% in the quarter. Toyota Motor North America reported March sales down year over year, and pickup sales tracking shows the Tundra down for the quarter as well. So when you say Ram is up while others are falling, there is real support for that. But numbers alone do not explain why one truck line rises while another softens. Sales data shows the result. It does not always show the mood that created the result. And the mood right now is simple. Truck buyers are more cautious. They are less patient. They are more worried about regret than they were a few years ago. Once a buyer gets into that state of mind, the old tricks do not work the same way. That is why this is not just a truck story. It is a trust story. One brand started making itself easier to say yes to at the exact moment other brands were still carrying extra weight. Sometimes that weight was price. Sometimes it was complexity. Sometimes it was just the feeling that the company was asking the buyer to move on from things he still cared about. If you think truck buyers are getting more cautious now, hit like and let me know in the comments what brand feels strongest to you. Ram listened. For a while, a lot of truck companies started acting like they knew better than the people buying the trucks. They would tell buyers that the future was here, that the old way was over, and that anyone still hanging on to certain engines, certain sounds, or certain kinds of truck feel just needed to get with the program. That approach can work for a little while when money feels loose and buyers are in a forgiving mood. It stops working when the payment gets serious. Once a truck starts costing enough to make a person hesitate, he does not want a lecture. He wants to feel understood. He wants to feel like the company still remembers why he liked the truck in the first place. That is where Ram made one of its smartest moves. It stopped creating distance between the product and the buyer. It started making the truck feel like a truck people had asked for, not a truck they were supposed to be grateful for. Instead of trying to convince people that they should want less of the old stuff and more of the new plan, Ram started giving off a simpler message. We heard you. We know what you still care about. We are not going to make you feel outdated for wanting it. That matters more than people admit. Buyers do not always switch because another truck suddenly becomes better at everything. Sometimes they switch because one brand starts feeling less stubborn, less pushy, less eager to drag them into a future they are not fully sold on. Ram looked more open to what truck buyers were already saying out loud, and in a year like this, that can move a lot of metal fast. You can see that in how people talk about this brand now. The conversation is less about forcing change and more about whether Ram finally listened. That is a much better place to sell from, especially when the truck market is full of buyers who already feel like too many companies are trying to sell them a machine that solves the manufacturer's problem more than the owner's problem. The Hemi return. The return of the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 mattered for more than horsepower and exhaust sound. It mattered because it showed that Ram finally understood something basic. A truck buyer is not only choosing a spec sheet, he's choosing familiarity. He's choosing what feels proven to him. He's choosing what lets him sleep better after the truck is parked in his driveway. Ram is now openly advertising the newly available 5.7-liter Hemi V8 in the 2026 Ram 1500 lineup. That move is not small. It tells buyers the company heard the pushback and decided not to keep pretending it was just noise. It tells them the people in charge saw that many truck owners were not ready to walk away from a setup they already trusted.
This is where some people make the mistake of calling it pure nostalgia. Nostalgia is part of it, yes, but that is not all it is. Familiarity lowers fear. A known engine feels easier to live with than one the buyer is still trying to make peace with. A known engine feels like fewer surprises. It feels like less second-guessing. It feels like a company is meeting the owner where he is instead of trying to train him into a new identity. That also fits the mood of the market. Buyers are more risk-aware now. They are thinking past the test drive. They are thinking about long-term repair costs, long-term confidence, and whether this truck still feels honest once the excitement is gone. When a company brings back something people already trust, it does not just add an engine choice. It lowers emotional friction. It makes the whole purchase feel less like a leap. Warranty matters. In a cheaper market, warranty talk can sound boring. In this market, it does not sound boring at all. It sounds like backup. It sounds like breathing room. It sounds like one of the few concrete things a company can offer when buyers are worried about expensive surprises. Ram is making a big point of its 2026 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and the brand says that is the best full-size truck powertrain limited warranty in the market. The MOPAR warranty document also spells out that the coverage extends the normal powertrain period for eligible 2026 Ram owners. Whether a person reads every line or not, the message is still clear. Ram knows people are nervous about what comes after the honeymoon. That matters because truck buyers are not just doing truck math anymore. They are doing damage control math. They are asking what happens if something major goes wrong after the first couple of years. They are asking whether they are buying a strong machine or signing up for a future argument with a service department. The longer the loan, the more those questions matter. The higher the price, the more those questions matter. So a long powertrain warranty does real work in this kind of market. It does not prove perfection. It does not mean every truck will be trouble-free, but it tells the buyer the company at least understands where the fear is coming from. That alone gives the sale more credibility. It makes the pitch sound less like empty confidence and more like something with real skin in the game. That is where Ram started separating itself from the pack. One part of the pitch said, "We brought back something familiar." Another part said, "We know you are worried about the years after you buy it." Put those together and you get a much stronger value story than people realize. Not cheap, not magical, just easier to justify in a market where too many buyers are already expecting pain. Choice came back. One of the easiest ways to lose truck buyers is to make them feel cornered. The second people feel like a company has already decided what they're supposed to like, the trust starts slipping. That is especially true in this market, where people do not buy a truck just to admire it. They buy it to work, tow, travel, haul, and keep for years. They want room to choose the kind of truck that fits their life, not just the kind of truck that fits a corporate plan. That is another reason Ram's rise makes sense. Right now, the lineup gives people more than one clear way in. Ram is pitching the familiar 5.7-liter Hemi V8, the 3-liter Hurricane options, and the old reliable feel of a full-size truck that still knows who it is supposed to be. That matters because different buyers are trying to solve different problems. Some want the old sound and old feel. Some want newer power. Some care about comfort first. Some care about work first. A brand does not need to please everybody, it just needs to stop making so many people feel left out. That is where several rivals can start feeling stiff without meaning to. Once one company looks more open, the others can start looking like they are asking for too much patience. Buyers notice that. They may not always say it in technical language, but they feel it. They feel whether a brand is offering choices or managing them. They feel whether a company is meeting them halfway or trying to steer them somewhere they never planned to go. In a hot market, that difference can get buried. In a harder market, it stands out. People do not want to spend this kind of money and then also feel boxed in. Ram seems to have understood that sooner than some of the others. It's not just selling a truck, it's selling more ways for a buyer to see himself in the truck, and that makes the whole purchase feel less forced. Ford feels softer. Ford is still the volume king in the full-size truck space. Ford said the F-Series sold 159,901 trucks in the first quarter and remained the top-selling truck line in America. That's a huge number. Nobody serious is pretending Ford suddenly disappeared, but the important part is the direction, not just the size. The same tracking shows Ford F-Series was down from 190,389 a year earlier. Ford also said its total sales declined 8.8%, even while it talked up retail share and inventory normalization. That is what makes Ram's rise hit harder. It's not just that Ram is up, it's that Ram is up while the biggest name on the board is softer year over year. And that tells you something about the mood of the buyer. It tells you that being the giant is not enough when people get more selective. Volume alone does not protect a brand from a colder market. Ford still has strengths that matter: huge loyalty, huge recognition, huge product range. But dominance can create its own kind of pressure. The expectations are higher, a dip looks louder, and once buyers start feeling cautious, the biggest name can start feeling like the default choice rather than the exciting choice. In a nervous market, default is not always as powerful as it used to be. There's another detail here that matters more than many people catch. Ford's own release talked about subscriptions climbing for Ford Pro Intelligence. That may be meaningful for the business side, but for a lot of old-school truck people, it also feeds a feeling they already do not like. They do not want to hear about software growth and paid services when they are trying to decide whether a truck still feels like something they truly own. So this is not a story about Ford suddenly building a weak truck. It's a story about the market getting harsher and the giant not feeling as light on its feet as the moment demands.
GM and Toyota fade. General Motors and Toyota are not falling because people suddenly forgot who they are. They are falling or softening because the market is making every weakness feel heavier. Start with General Motors. The company said its United States sales fell 9.7% in the first quarter and that it expects a similar decline for the industry. That does not mean the company is weak everywhere. It still moves a mountain of vehicles and still has serious truck presence. But when the larger company picture gets softer, buyers start reading the whole brand through a more cautious lens. Even a decent truck can feel like it is arriving in a shakier story. Then look at Toyota. Toyota Motor North America reported March sales down year over year, and pickup sales tracking shows the Tundra down slightly for the quarter. That is not a collapse, it is a reminder that reputation alone does not carry every season. Toyota still has trust in the bank, but in a market like this, the buyer is not living on old respect alone. He is asking whether the truck feels right for right now, whether the value story is still sharp enough, and whether another brand is simply giving him a cleaner reason to move. That is the common thread. Each of these brands is strong in some real way, but each one is asking something from the buyer that feels a little heavier right now. Maybe it is more money, maybe it is more patience, maybe it is more belief that the badge will carry the stress. Ram, meanwhile, has spent this stretch making itself feel more understandable, more familiar, and less argumentative. What buyers reward? The truck buyer in 2026 is not the same buyer companies were selling to when the money felt easier and the market felt warmer. He is more careful now. He has seen enough repair bills, enough price jumps, and enough complicated technology to stop assuming that new always means better for him. That changes what gets rewarded. Buyers still care about power,
towing, and comfort, but those things are now filtered through fear of regret. Is this engine the one I trust? Is this company acting like it understands ownership pain? Is this truck giving me enough choice to feel like I am buying what I want, not what the company wants to move? Does this whole purchase feel like a smart decision once I stop staring at the shiny parts? Ram looks like it read that shift better than the others. The sales gains, the return of the Hemi, the strong push around warranty, and even the dependability brag in the first quarter release all fit the same message. Ram wanted the buyer to feel less trapped and less nervous. It even highlighted that the Ram 1500 ranked first in the large light-duty pickup segment in the 2026 Vehicle Dependability Study. That is exactly the kind of thing a cautious buyer listens to in a tense market. And that is the lesson here for anybody shopping. Do not let badge pride do all the thinking for you. Do not assume the biggest seller is the healthiest story. Do not assume the most familiar name is automatically lined up with the buyer's current worries. Watch what the companies are actually doing. Watch what they are bringing back. Watch what they are guaranteeing. Watch how hard they are trying to lower ownership anxiety.
Why Ram is rising. The real reason Ram sales are up and others are falling is not some secret trick, and it is not one magical feature. It is that Ram got closer to the emotional center of the truck buyer at the exact moment that center changed. Buyers got more cautious, more price-aware, more repair-aware, more tired of being told to accept trade-offs they never asked for. Ram responded with a clearer message than the others. It stopped fighting old preferences. It brought back something familiar. It pushed real reassurance through the warranty. It let the product feel more like an answer and less like an argument. In a market that is still expected to finish below last year, that kind of alignment matters more than ever. Ford is still huge, General Motors is still huge, Toyota still has respect that most brands would kill for. None of that disappears because one quarter goes a certain way. But this quarter did show something important. It showed that buyers are rewarding reassurance over novelty, familiarity over friction, and confidence over brand habit. Ram got to that point faster than the others did, and the sales chart reflected it. So if there's one thing worth taking from this whole story, it is this. Truck sales are not only about horsepower, legacy, or whichever company shouts the loudest. They are about which brand makes the buyer feel like he is making the safer long-term call. Right now, Ram seems to be doing that better than the others. That does not mean the race is over. It does mean the mood has changed. And once the mood changes, the brands that listen first usually move first. That's exactly what this quarter looked like. It looked like one company finally understanding what the truck buyer was worried about, while several others still looked heavier, riskier, or just harder to justify. That's why this story matters. Not because one quarter settles everything, but because it shows what people reward when the money gets serious again. If you've been seeing the same thing where you are, whether on dealership lots or in the way people talk before they buy, say what you're noticing. Like, subscribe, and stick around for the next one.